like to invite y'all to our booth at the NACS show. Come early, I'll be having coffee, lots of coffee. It takes a lot of energy to be a spokesbelle. Come at lunch and we'll have a glass of sweet iced tea. It is the champagne of the South. Later, we can have 4 or 5 of these perfect iced coffees as a pick-me-up.
God is my witness, I will never be sleepy again.
Anyway, we'll see y'all at the next show through 7333, okay?
Welcome back to CSP TV's coverage of the NACS show. At CSP's recent Outlook Leadership Conference in Salt Lake City, outgoing NACS Chairman Jay Ricker, chairman of Ricker Oil in Anderson, Indiana, offered a mid-year state of the industry using NACS CSX data. As we move toward the NACS show, we thought it would be appropriate to provide you with some of the highlights.
So sales are up. I don't think that's probably a surprise to everybody. And a lot of that is driven by fuel sales, and that's the next line that we're looking at there. But when you're looking at dollars, we all know that that can be misleading at times. But the average selling price of gasoline is up. To me, the real meat of this slide is when you look down below, when you look at in-store sales. I mean, we all know that we've got to grow our inside sales. So in-store sales were up a nice healthy 5.4%. And now we're looking strictly at sales. We'll look at gross margins in just a moment too. Food service. We all know we have got to be involved in food service. It's a tough nut to crack. There are not very many people in our industry who I think do a really spectacular job on food service. We all try very hard. There's a lot of different ways to go to market, but it is ticking up. So we looked at merchandise sales, also up a nice healthy 5%. We looked at merchandise less cigarettes, 3.8, and we looked at cigarettes in general, which are also up. I mentioned a moment ago about gross margin dollars. You can have all the sales in the world, but if you don't get some gross margin out of it, it really doesn't do you a whole lot of good. And I think that's extremely important. We would all agree. So the total gross margin for the first 6 months over the year ago is actually up 11%. In my mind, that's a nice, healthy figure. Fuel is up 29.1%. That obviously is not Indianapolis, Indiana, where I'm at a lot. But obviously somebody's making good margins. In-store, we're also up. Food service, again, the margin was up even more than the sales were up from the previous slide. These are the hot categories. To me, this is an interesting one. Cold dispensed beverages, sales have been up. Margin has also been up. Again, pretty much the whole country's had a really hot summer. Where I am in the Midwest, we had very few 90-degree and plus days last year. This year, we don't have days that aren't 90-degree plus. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. I think the hot dispensed beverages reflects what we all know is going on. It's been a focus of a lot of people on coffee. McDonald's has been out there hitting it hard. And I think a lot of people in our channel of trade have really upped their game and have increased their coffee sales.
Reporting for CSP TV, this is Steve Holtz.
And I'd like to invite y'all to our booth at the NACS show. Come early, I'll be having coffee, lots of coffee. It takes a lot of energy to be a spokesbelle. Come at lunch and we'll have a glass of sweet iced tea. It is the champagne of the South. Later, we can have 4 or 5 of these perfect iced coffees as a pick-me-up.
God is my witness, I will never be sleepy again.
Anyway, we'll see y'all at the NACS show through 7333, okay?